Back in the day, the mod team was different. Mods were chosen by RobTop himself, and this system worked really well. Unfortunately, I'm sure we all know how busy RobTop is, giving him less and less time to focus on watching potential candidates. While little is known about the mod team due to their secrecy, it is known that most new mods are chosen by Viprin. Nevertheless, since Viprin doesn't have to focus on working on the game, he can spend more time watching potential candidates, with the only downside being that RobTop essentially doesn't run the mod team anymore, but is more of just a tool used to promote these people. While the old system seemed nice, I feel this new system is better for the community. At first, I thought this would be temporary, and that once 2.2 was released, RobTop would put more effort into choosing mod candidates himself. Unfortunately, that may never come to be. After promoting a few mods, aside from saying a few more might be promoted and be the last, Viprin said that there will basically be no new mods in the future. While he did say that some really qualified ones may be promoted, I see that being very unlikely and very rare to the point where there will basically be no more new mods. I personally think that this is a bad idea, and I will explain why in this video. I will avoid simple reasons and what ifs such as what happens if someone resigns or gets unmodded, since those are some simple scenarios that I am sure the mod team can solve. Instead, I will talk about how restricting the mod team will not benefit the community, despite what Viprin's tweet says. Anyway, I want to quickly mention that I am in no way blaming or accusing anyone, despite saying Viprin's name a lot so far. He is just the one that posted the tweet. I'm not sure who exactly decided on this idea, but nevertheless, I have some criticisms that I will share in this video. I am Moldy Macroniacs, but you can call me Moldy, and today I will be explaining why I think restricting the mod team is a bad idea. Remember to subscribe if you like this video and my other content, it means a lot to me. Let's just dive right into this. In Viprin's tweet, it is suggested that instead of promoting new mods, it is a better idea to instead focus on connecting with the entire community. Now, let's break this down. So, if we assume the mod team will no longer be growing, meaning we are limited to the 95 or so we currently have, there will be a ceiling in which the mod team can help the community. Let me explain this better with an analogy. Let's say that, for simplicity's sakes, there are 100 mods, and each mod sees 50 levels a day. If you wanted to find more levels, the mods would have to do more work and spend more time and effort. It would just be much easier to acquire more mods to cover more ground, than work the current mods even more. There is only a certain amount of levels a single person can cover in a day, but if there are more people, then more levels will be seen. No matter how many levels you try to get your mods to play, they have their limits. Okay, but you may be thinking that I misinterpreted what the tweet said. The tweet said that the mod team is going to focus on connecting with the community, and that doesn't necessarily have to do with playing more levels. My response to that is, no matter what the tweet meant, whether it was levels or community management, it is the main job of moderators to send levels to RobTop. While they should also be mature and helpful, the truth is, it should be the main priority of the mod team to play and cover more levels. I'm not saying that mods shouldn't help the community, but rather I am saying that this should not overshadow the sending levels portion of the position. Okay, but let's take a look at this, assuming the tweet meant that connecting with the community did not mean playing more levels, but rather helping the community. The same logic I applied above can work here too. There's only a finite amount of help a single mod can give in a certain time period. While you could argue that 95 or so mods is enough to supply the community, I would argue that this is simply not true, especially since the community keeps growing, and once 2.2 comes out, the mod team is going to be overwhelmed. The tweet said that continuously adding new mods isn't fixing any issues, but the way I see it, stopping to add new mods is going to make those issues worse. If the goal of the mod team is to manage the community and send levels, then I don't see how restricting the mod team is going to help achieve these goals. People have their limits, so ideally, you want as many qualified people as possible so you can cover more ground. So that was the main reason presented in the tweet. However, despite giving my thoughts on it, I've came up with a few more reasons as to why restricting the mod team is still a bad idea. Firstly, let's talk about hope, or at least a sense of it. Psychologically, hope gives people motivation and, by extension, excitement and hype. I don't think I need to say that there are a lot of community members actively trying to achieve mod, and while unfortunately, I can't imagine all of them getting it, they have hope. Restricting the mod team is completely destroying all hope and hype the community has, which for some people means a lot. Likewise, seeing new moderators being promoted every now and then is nice and gives the community joy, so seeing a lack of these announcements in the future will definitely negatively impact the community. So not only are people trying to get mod, but the community is also excited to see new mods pop up every now and then. Personally, I have known numerous people who have gotten the position of mod, and it is always so cool seeing that. Likewise, seeing names I recognize show up there is nice, and sometimes even seeing names I don't recognize is cool. The truth is, mod promotions have become a big deal in the community, and it is almost like an event of sorts. Seeing the new mods is cool, and while it may have some backlash at times, I don't think that makes it a good idea to completely cancel it. Backlash is never a good reason to stop something, and I really hope it didn't motivate the decision to restrict the team. We need new mods for the sake of sending levels, managing the community, but also giving the community hope, hype, and joy. It is cool seeing RobTop give new people mod status, so restricting that is something I can't see achieving anything good. The mod team is known for being incredibly secretive and opaque. They have a secret mod chat and rarely ever disclose anything that goes on in there. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all for keeping information secret, especially stuff that goes on in the mod chat. However, I am sure we can all agree that sometimes it feels like the mod team doesn't tell us anything. So I go up to a new mod and I say, "Did you get access to the chat?" And I get that infamous "I cannot confirm nor deny" response, and it's so stupid. I know that the reason the mod team doesn't share anything is probably because there isn't anything notable to share, or it's some 2.2 news, which is strictly forbidden to be shared from what I know. But that doesn't mean that the community is going to see the mod team as transparent. The mod team has this sense of secrecy, and even though I believe it is for a good cause and should be enforced, from the eyes of the community it doesn't always seem that way, and restricting the mod team will make it feel even more private, which isn't really something you want your management team to feel like to the public. I think the mod team should feel like it is alongside the public, but with it feeling even more private, exclusive, and restricted, it may not feel that way. I know that this is really just one big nocebo, but it's still something to take into consideration. Now, in case I didn't make it clear, I believe that things in the mod chat should not be shared. However, that doesn't mean the community is going to take it lightly, and by restricting the mod team, it will feel even more disconnected from the community, which is the exact opposite of what was said to be wanted in the tweet. So, because of how a restricted mod count can only cover a restricted level amount, and be able to give a restricted amount of help, as well as how the community relies on unrestricted mod promotions for hype, and because of how restricting the mod team will make it feel even more disconnected, I feel that it is of the best interest of both the mod team and the community to avoid restricting the mod team. Now, I know I just said it like a dozen times, but the key word I want you to take away from this video is restricted. By not promoting new mods, you are restricting the team, and I am sure that is not something good for anyone, and I just explained why I think so. I love the mod team and think it is doing wondrous things for the community, and that is why I made this video. I want the mod team to become the best it can be, and I hope to help that by giving these criticisms. So anyway, that is what I have to say. Do you agree with me, or do you think the mod team should be restricted like such? Is there anything for or against my argument that you feel is worth being shared? Let me know. Remember to subscribe if you like my content, and I hope you have a great day, as always.